starting 1st of February. In brief, despite the fact that the budget 2023 has emerged as people-centric budget, the opposition continues to find flaws in it. Here's how the opposition parties have decoded the budget.
बिहार ने इतनी बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ से सांसद भाजपा के लोगों को जितवाया, आज उनको शर्म से डूब जाना चाहिए। आज लगभग 8 साल जो है, 8 साल से ऊपर हो गए सरकार को, क्या मिला बिहार को? एक बड़ी चीज़ बता दो, या पूर्व में जो पहले सरकार रही, यूपी की सरकार रही, उसने जितना दिया क्या इसने दिया?
तो बजट जो मोदी सरकार ने पेश की है, ये तो 2-4 राज्यों के इलेक्शन चुनाव को देखकर ही उन्होंने पेश किया है। तो ये तो इलेक्शन स्पीच है, और वो इलेक्शन स्पीच 15 दिन पहले से ही शुरू किए हैं।
For Karnataka, there is no gain. They have announced 5,300. Already Karnataka and our regime and various regime, about 16,000 crores was being spent. They could have announced for the Upper Krishna project as a national project. Then on Mekeda to Reservoir.
Burning Question, presented by Samsonite, powered by XUV400 and Cool Fans.
Despite assurance to investors, most of the stocks of Adani Group end up in red. Opposition demands debate, disrupts and forces Parliament to adjourn over Adani issue.
How does one company, matter, whether that company's shares has gone up or gone down? Is that a matter to be discussed in Parliament?
Union Minister counters opposition, says Adani debate not needed in Parliament. BBC China money scandal blows up. UK media reports suggest BBC invested in Chinese state firms. UK parliamentarian exposes BBC China link, says 18 more China linked companies fund the BBC. Hit by one crisis after another, even IMF rejects Pakistan's debt plan now. Well, hello and welcome viewers. I am Aishwarya Kapoor and you're watching The Burning Question. And is it burning? The Adani issue. From India to overseas. Everyone wants to know the real story. What's happening? What has happened? But let's be very clear, viewers, that it's a point of concern. Let there be no doubt about it. The Indian Stock Exchange, let's be very clear. It not only runs on evaluation, but also on sentiments. And the sentiments right now is anti-Adani. And that's why you see, not one or two, but all the 7 companies listed of the Adanis, including that of the more stable cement one, have plummeted down. And like how? Like how? People are questioning now even the recalling of the FPO by the Adani. Even the recalling is being questioned again. Gautam Adani comes out and says, listen, I feel it's morally not right that the FPO still goes out because the value has now come down, so I'm taking it back. But what does it show? The HNIs which invested in the FPO, that they trust, whether it's whoever were those individuals, it just suggests that they still have trust. But then there is a whole political storm brewing on this report, the Hindenburg report, because everyone wants to know that what is this report and what do they do and how do they have such detailed information regarding an Indian industrialist. What do they do? What exactly do they do? So for them, just refer to this 2020 Nicola Corp report, which the same institution did. Few say that they can smell more. What's behind this research of this Hindenburg? They say there is more to be explained. It's just not a attack on Adani or the reality coming out, but the way it is being done, it is to target something more. But then, can those questions go unanswered, viewers? And it's very significant and sensitive when I say, no, they cannot. The meteoric rise, everything. But then, let me just tell you this before I get in this special report. And when I say, on the promise of anonymity, one of the top 6 opposition leaders, while I was speaking to them, they said, listen, it's going to be very interesting to see, and it's just an anecdote I'm getting in before I get in this special report. They say that it's going to be very interesting to see, Aishwarya, that is Adani on the right side of the law or not, because they say that on this report you can question on the facts. But is he really on the wrong side of the law? So let's debate on the burning question, but first, this special report.
The Adani Group's shares fell further after the firm's late-night move to call off the much-hyped FPO. Today, Gautam Adani insisted that the fundamentals of his conglomerate were strong.
Dear friends, after a fully subscribed FPO, yesterday's decision of his withdrawal would have surprised many. But considering the volatility of the market seen yesterday, our board strongly felt that it would not have been morally correct to proceed with the FPO.
He stated that the decision will not have any impact on existing operations and future plans. The Hindenburg research report has triggered some asking questions about the exposure of banks and LIC to the Adani Group. Meanwhile, the opposition has taken up this issue in the parliament. 9 opposition parties have demanded a discussion in parliament.
ज्वाइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी हो या सुप्रीम कोर्ट के जो चीफ जस्टिस है उनके नेतृत्व में इसकी इंक्वायरी हो और डे टू डे रिपोर्ट भी जनता के सामने रखे और लोगों को भी मालूम होता है कि उनके पैसा उनका इन्वेस्टमेंट और उनके जो कमाई कहाँ गई, कहाँ तक रही, कहाँ तक बच गई, इसका भी उनको एक विश्वास मिलता है.
Gautam Adani's empire has lost more than $100 billion following explosive allegations of accounting fraud last week. But the truth to the claims are yet to be ascertained. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
And I've joined in by former MP Raj Sabha and industrialist Sanjay Dalmia. I've joined in by Savio Rodriguez, Chief Editor, Goa Chronicle. Thank you, Savio, for coming in. Dr. Suman C. Raman joining in from Chennai. And Ravula Sridhar Reddy, leader of BRS and chairman of the Telangana State Education and Welfare Development Board, live joining in from Hyderabad. Savio, I'll come to you, but let me go to the former MP. Sanjay Dalmia, everyone seems to be gunning at an international level Because the kind of reports which have come out after this report, after this Hindenburg report, and the kind of response we've seen by the Indian Stock Exchange, they say that this plummeting of his shares has just begun. But Gautam Adani comes out today and says that, listen, my basics are strong and I have not done anything wrong. Sanjay Dalmia first and then Savio.
You see, it is a normal thing, it's a very normal thing. Anybody who succeeds is always the line of fire. I don't know Gautam Adani personally, but whatever I know is that he started as a scratch and he has made up this business on his own. Now that's something very laudable. I think anybody who does this kind of endeavor, this kind of enterprise, needs to be lauded, not the way it is being done by some people. Point is, Hindenburg report. Now, I don't want to say anything about Hindenburg because I don't know them. But you see, I have seen, this is my experience, anything good in India does not find favor with the West. It is a very normal thing. I just want to give an example. When we were doing so well, we get flock from foreign agencies. Hindenburg is one of them. Take the case of BBC.
Yeah.
What have we done wrong? BBC says that we have done a lot of wrong things. But BBC does not know that why they want to attack our leadership, because they don't want India to grow. It is against their, something that doesn't palatable for them. I can tell you, if I want to...
I'll come back to you, Suman C. Raman. No, I'll come back to you, Sanjay. No, Sanjay, I'll come back to you.
All right,
Dr. Suman C. Raman. No,
All right.
Sanjay Dalmia, I'll come back to you.
All right, all
I'll
right.
come back to the politics part also. You are also yourself a former MP. I'll come
All
back
right.
to you. Suman C. Raman. Suman C. Raman. You take this report very
All
seriously.
right, wonderful. Thank you.
Look, Aishwarya, the issue is very
Suman C.
simple.
Raman.
They have made specific allegations. The allegations are not general. They are not vague. They are extremely specific. They have raised 88 questions. Now, the simple way of responding would be to answer to these 88 questions, which, as has been seen from their clarification note, most of them have not been answered. Now, it is more than the Adani group.
Is it?
My question is to the regulators. What are the regulatory agencies doing? What is the point in somebody saying, please let us know what is the bank exposure? Now the RBI gets into the act and says, let us know how much each bank has, lent to Adani companies. And then, SEBI says we are closely monitoring the situation, whatever that may mean. Look, there is a bloodbath which is going on in the shares of the Adani group. Today alone, Adani Enterprises plunged 26%, and that was after already having plunged 26-27% yesterday. So what are we talking about? Where are the regulators? First of all, you have to understand that this is much bigger than Mr. Adani himself. This is about the confidence of the international investment community in the country. And that cannot be compromised for whoever it is, whether it is Adani or somebody else.
That's the point. Savio, that is the point which the former MP were also trying to make. That this is greater and more than Adani. And that is why, is there more than it meets the eye, Savio, which the former MP was just trying to indicate. Savio Rodriguez, Savio.
Well, I'd like to make 4 points, Aishwarya. The first point is, I don't think we as a country or Adani as a corporation needs to answer to a research firm selling the stocks or the shares that are around, because that is the nature of their work. So if it does not, in my understanding, become a competent authority, number one. Yes, because it's a large corporation, these stock markets has been taking a beating. And that is something that the government must look at.
Yeah.
And that is why the regulatory body like the RBI and the various others have now looked into the lending that has been done to the Adani Corporation. So today, if Sumant, my friend, tells me that because some research firm that's in the same business and has benefits because of that makes an allegation against any corporation in India that has grown so big, and that was the third richest man in the world at this point of time, and I'm supposed to get weak in my knees and say, let's go and do a major investigation, goes on Hindenburg, who's probably just come into the limelight because of this issue. I think that is a ridiculous statement to make. It's not a competent authority.
Sumant, I'll come to you, hold on.
It's not even a media company that's making an allegation. Right? So the point is if Adani is
but have
wrong,
you seen their record?
then a competent
have
authority
you seen their record?
within the Indian
Ramana
government.
Sridhar Reddy and Sanjay Dalmia, have you seen?
One point, Aishwarya.
I was just researching a bit about the Hindenburg. No, I'm coming to all of
No, this is not
I was
about
researching their
Hindenburg.
75%
Much before
strike
Hindenburg,
ratio.
2 years ago itself, these allegations have come out. Many of these allegations were made 2 years ago. It is not
Sumant, how cute
in 2021.
Sumant, how
Maybe
cute
not
of you
these
when you
specific
say
charges.
this is Savio, he says this is not about Hindenburg when you know. You know, the Indian Stock
years
Exchange
ago,
not only, as I
don't
said,
take
not
my
only
word
works
for
on
But
the
the whole
valuation but
allegation
also on the
is based
sentiment.
on Hindenburg.
You see that the man is now on the 15th position. He was at number 1, number 2, Mr. Reddy, and now the man is on the 15th position. Around 40% of his shares of the 7 listed companies have eroded. The price value has eroded. So yes, as much as Savio may say, and I may personally want to support that, yes, why do we give this report? That's not important, but the impact, Savio, is massive. And this is just not it. In 2020, the Nicola Corp report, they finished the company.
So that's Aishwarya,
by one report.
Aishwarya,
that's
I just wanted to.
That is precisely.
So if I can just go to Mr. Reddy
That's
first and then to you.
precisely. Mr. Dalmia.
Yes, Mr. Reddy first and then coming Savio.
Sure.
I agree with my co-panelists
See,
that it is not about Adani.
May I just
It is not
butt in for a minute?
One moment, sir. One moment. It is not simply about Adani.
Sure. Please hold on, Sanjay. Sanjay, please hold on.
Our BRS has given an urgent motion in the parliament for a discussion on the Hindenburg report. See, it is not the question of Hindenburg report or some other report.
Yeah.
We had experiences in the past. We have seen Arshad Mehta's, we have seen Mehul Choksi's, we have seen many other companies who have actually made a big dent to the banks and the financial institutions in this country.
No, the comparison
so it is
you are
not
making,
question of the listen. It is not question of the Hindenburg report.
See,
Why
I
because you are
want to butt in. I want to butt in, Aishwarya. I want to butt in.
Can I continue?
Aishwarya, I want to
Please,
butt in.
Wait a moment. The common man investments
Give him 30 more
are
seconds and then you come in, sir.
What I am
And
seeing
SBI,
is, excuse me, what I am
Sir,
seeing
wait.
is,
Give him 30 seconds.
Why
What
are you
I
so
am saying
hurry
is-
protecting somebody?
please,
This is not fair. Aishwarya, let me make my statement.
I am not protecting
Why the
anybody.
government
I'm
is
just
scared?
making a point.
Sir, can you please hold
I
a minute?
should be allowed to make a point.
Let me please complete my statement. Why the government is scared of a discussion in the parliament? The country owes an explanation from Honorable Prime Minister Modi on this particular issue because it's not a small thing. 7.5 lakh crores evaporated in 5 days' time. And the report clearly indicates irregularities.
Point taken. Sanjay Dalmia.
Aishwarya, finally,
The comparison with Harshad Mehta's and everything, is this right? Is this right?
What I am getting
Is this right? Now you calm down,
What
Mr. Reddy.
I'm-
I'll come back to you.
No,
Sanjay Dalmia, hold on, please.
I think-
Sanjay Dalmia.
I think it is very unfair.
Hold on, Mr. Reddy.
I think it is very unfair without we are trying to prove a man guilty without knowing the facts. I mean, we are saying the man is bad, he's done this, he has,
We are not saying he's
stock
bad.
market has been affected,
We are only
so
saying-
stock market has been affected.
Harshad
Because of
Mehta-
what? Is it?
No, Mr.
has
Reddy
he
is
done
doing a
anything
comparison
wrong?
of Gautam Adani
Can
with
you
Harshad
prove
Mehta.
has he done anything wrong?
We are not comparing. We are only
Absolutely
saying
rubbish.
we demand a discussion because
No, you just
the
did.
country
I
had
am
some experiences
not talking
on
in favor
bad
of Gautam
corporate
Adani.
accounting practices.
All I am saying
Once
is,
again,
somebody,
it brought
you
about
can't judge a person
irregularities
without,
on corporate accounting
it is
practices.
Hold on, Mr. Reddy.
As well.
Don't go. Please don't go.
How do you know there is irregularity?
Why there is
How
on,
can
Mr.
there be irregularity? Nobody has done any homework and you just make
We are
a
not
statement that
finalizing
there is
anything. We demand a
irregularity.
discussion, nothing else.
This is very unfair.
I am only
No,
trying to
but
make a point.
the whole trend of discussion
and then
is
Savio.
that the
Suman
man
and then
is
Savio.
guilty.
Point is very
You are
simple.
making a
Suman,
man guilty
Suman.
without going
Suman,
into
Suman,
the real
Suman.
fact.
Look, nobody
This
is
is very
Because
addressing
you know why the opposition is
questions which have
also
been raised.
murmuring.
Hindenburg,
don't-
1 minute, Aishwarya, Hindenburg was not the first to actually raise
Yeah,
these
Suman
questions,
Siraman.
though Hindenburg has done a very detailed report and has
Okay, then who was,
catalogued
sir?
them with individual specific charges. The issues about the concerns about the Adani group have been in public domain for more than 2 to 3 years. And as the share prices skyrocketed, some going up 8,000% and so on, I think that these questions had to be asked. It was the duty of the regulator to have stepped in much before Hindenburg. Whether Hindenburg published a report or not, the kind of exposure that LIC had, the kind of exposure that
No,
SBI
what are you
has,
saying? No.
these are
Savio, last 30 seconds. Savio,
Indians' money.
Savio, do
This
you
is
really feel
public money.
that this would have been the response of
can
the
I
Indian
come in?
stock market if
Aishwarya.
this report would not have come?
This is
No,
absolutely
hold on, Mr.
wrong.
Reddy, please don't
This is
basically.
very wrong.
Please hold
This
on,
is
Mr.
very
Dalmia.
wrong.
Savio.
One second.
Savio.
May I?
linked
I
with the
want to
Ketan
butt in.
Parekh issue.
This
May I?
is very
Was
wrong.
that not
How
our
Suman,
Let's-
sir, please don't do
okay.
this. Savio.
If
Savio,
The
please
most
carry on. We won't let you
important-
speak, Savio.
The most important-
untrue.
The most important thing for us to understand is that the allegations are made by Hindenburg.
from the bank.
Tomorrow some hamburger makes an allegation against another Indian company. All our opposition leaders are going to go weak in the knees.
Aishwarya.
That's the point.
That is the problem. I'm saying a competent authority in
Let's find the
India.
legality.
Competent
That is exactly what Mr. Sanjay Dalmia was also saying.
Legality.
Ready, Mr. Reddy. Mr. Reddy, 10
Aishwarya,
seconds.
it is not
Okay,
the
calm down,
question of-
calm down all of you.
It is-
Mr. Reddy, 10 seconds.
It is not
Quick
the-
answer. Suman,
it
please
is
don't
not
go
the
on
question
like
of-
this.
Aishwarya,
Please don't go on.
allow
It's
me
a
two
short
minutes.
debate I need to do today, please.
Please allow me 2
It
minutes.
is not the question of legality
No,
of
I don't have 2 minutes, Mr. Dalmia. I'll
It
give
is
you a
the
minute.
security of the investment.
Simple question.
This
No,
is very
you know the
wrong.
matter of the fact is 7.5 lakhs crores have evaporated. What is the
Hold on,
reason?
all of you.
We are expecting a discussion.
Aishwarya, this is not
We
correct.
are expecting
I
a
have to
discussion
get
in the
1 minute.
parliament. We
I
demand
want
it.
to
Either
clear all this apart.
either a parliament, joint parliamentary committee, or a
I'll come to you,
committee
sir, hold
constituted by the Supreme Court Chief Justice. See,
Okay,
if you
point
correlate,
taken. 30 seconds,
if you
Sanjay Dalmia.
correlate,
30 seconds, Sanjay
Aishwarya,
Dalmia.
if you correlate the
Sanjay
value
Dalmia, 30 seconds.
of the company
Sanjay, 30 seconds. Former MP, 30 seconds. Yeah.
counterparts in the same
You
business.
see,
30 seconds.
I am
Okay, Mr. Reddy,
saying,
point taken. Sanjay Dalmia,
I
carry on. Yeah,
take-
hold it on.
We need a discussion in the
I think it is very wrong. You are already trying to say the man is guilty and you want to start all these things in the parliament here and there.
Who's saying?
Yes, you have a right. But don't go with that basic thing that the man is guilty. You don't even know. Most of the foreign companies also are indebted. They also take loans from here and there. There is nothing wrong in it. In a business, this is a very normal thing. You take loan, you have equity. This is a very normal thing of doing business. Please don't try to.
No, so
All people are
Point
saying
taken.
is we don't know whether he is
Suman
guilty or
Siraman.
innocent. Let's have an
Suman
inquiry.
Siraman. Suman Siraman. Is he on the wrong side of the law?
Look, Aishwarya,
Suman
there
Siraman,
have been
Savio, come to you. Is he on the
allegations.
wrong
These
side of the law?
allegations are serious.
Suman.
Have an inquiry. Let the regulatory agencies carry out an inquiry. Let them say that
Have an
nothing
inquiry.
is
Savio
there.
Rodriguez.
Why are they running away?
Aishwarya,
Suman Siraman is saying, have an inquiry. Have an inquiry.
You can't say the man is guilty and then
I am saying
Okay,
at
then
the
open
end of the
mind
day,
decision.
the
Savio.
inquiry cannot be because a hamburger.
to make a man guilty without
An inquiry cannot be because an hamburger
No,
somewhere
inquiry cannot be
decided
there
to call.
because of a Hindenburg or a Hamburg report. Savio says, Suman Siraman says, have an inquiry. Sanjay Dalmia says, have an inquiry but an open mind, but do not announce him wrong. I am saying the man was on number 2 or number 1 position and now he's on the number 15th. 40% of share prices are gone of the 7 listed companies on the stock market. So all of this, questions are serious, Mr. Sanjay and Savio, and the allegations are. So there has to be an investigation. You guys won't even let me speak. But that's the time I had. Thank you all of you. Now I'm going to debate number 2 with my colleague Shawan on the part 2. But first a small break and then I'm coming to it. A short break, viewers.
आपके कहने पर इस बार टाटा 1mg दवाई ऑर्डर की थी। ऐप पे आज की ही डिलीवरी बता रहा है, लेकिन इतनी जल्दी तो होगा नहीं, क्यों?
अरे यार, अजीब टाइप के नेगेटिव इंसान हो। मैं लिख के देता हूँ, दवाइयों की डिलीवरी बिल्कुल टाइम पे हो जाएगी। जी आ गया जी।
पटेल जी। हाँ जी, भरोसेमंद है जी।
टाटा 1mg आप भी डाउनलोड कर लें जी।
आग को फैलने से रोकना मुश्किल है पर नामुमकिन नहीं। अब फायरवॉल टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम आग से बचाए।
QSMTHE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
In brief, despite the fact that the budget 2023 has emerged as people-centric budget, the opposition continues to find flaws in it. Here's how the opposition parties have decoded the budget.
बिहार ने इतनी बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ से सांसद भाजपा के लोगों को जितवाया, आज उनको शर्म से डूब जाना चाहिए। आज लगभग 8 साल जो है, 8 साल से ऊपर हो गए सरकार को। क्या मिला बिहार को? एक बड़ी चीज बता दो, या पूर्व में जो पहले सरकार रही, यूपीए की सरकार रही, उसने जितना दिया क्या इसने दिया?
तो बजट जो मोदी सरकार ने पेश की है, ये तो 2-4 राज्यों के इलेक्शन चुनाव को देखकर ही उन्होंने पेश किया है। तो ये तो इलेक्शन स्पीच है, और वो इलेक्शन स्पीच 15 दिन पहले से ही शुरू किए हैं।
Yeah, we demand on details. We have to look into the railway budget because it is not clear. But one thing is there, we demanded for a Vande Bharat train with high speed. A Vande Bharat train with the existing speed will not be helpful. Because Kerala line, it is a lot of curves are there and gradient problem is there. So a lot of investment is needed for developing the line.
बजट में कुछ है ही नहीं। रात में जैसे सोते हैं, सपना देखते हैं और सुबह उठिए सब साफ है। ये बजट सपनों का सौदागर वाला हिसाब है, कुछ नहीं है इसमें। क्या है? टैक्स स्लैब घटा दिया, 5 लाख से 7 लाख कर दिया। अरे 5 लाख से 7 लाख ग्रुप सी के जो एम्प्लॉय हैं उनको 8 लाख से ज्यादा मिलता है सालाना, तो वो भी फायदा में नहीं रहेंगे, और ग्रुप डी वाले पहले से ही फायदे में थे।
Congress Parliamentary Strategy Group has decided to hold a meeting at the Congress office today to chalk out the strategy for the budget session. BJP is all geared up for the 2024 elections. The Saffron Party would hold a nationwide 12-day special campaign starting 1st of February. In brief, despite the fact that the budget 2023 has emerged as people-centric budget, the opposition continues to find flaws in it. Here's how the opposition parties have decoded the budget.
बिहार ने इतनी बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ से सांसद भाजपा के लोगों को जितवाया, आज उनको शर्म से डूब जाना चाहिए। आज लगभग 8 साल जो है, 8 साल से ऊपर हो गए सरकार को। क्या मिला बिहार को? एक बड़ी चीज बता दो, या पूर्व में जो पहले सरकार रही, यूपीए की सरकार रही, उसने जितना दिया क्या इसने दिया?
तो बजट जो मोदी सरकार ने पेश की है, ये तो 2-4 राज्यों के इलेक्शन चुनाव को देखकर ही उन्होंने पेश किया है। तो ये तो इलेक्शन स्पीच है, और वो इलेक्शन स्पीच 15 दिन पहले से ही शुरू किए हैं।
For Karnataka, there is no gain. They have announced 5,300. Already Karnataka and our regime and various regime, about 16,000 crores was being spent. They could have announced for the Upper Krishna project as a national project. Then on Mekeda to Reservoir, they could have come out with a solution. I think that these are the important issues which the government has a problem.
1000 करोड़ रुपए की मांग की थी कि बीएसएफ उनको अपग्रेड करने के लिए, मॉडर्नाइजेशन करने के लिए बॉर्डर की, क्योंकि ड्रोन वगैरह बहुत आते हैं, एंटी ड्रोन सिस्टम लॉन्च करने के लिए, उसका नाम भी नहीं लिया गया। तो किसानों के बारे में कुछ नहीं बोला गया, कोई एमएसपी नहीं दी गई। और पंजाब एक बॉर्डर स्टेट है, हमें बहुत चैलेंजेस हैं हमारी पुलिस को अपग्रेड करने के लिए, हमारे बॉर्डर को अपग्रेड करने के लिए।
Yeah, we demand on details. We have to look into the railway budget because it is not clear. But one thing is there, we demanded for a Vande Bharat train with high speed. A Vande Bharat train with the existing speed will not be helpful. Because Kerala line, it is a lot of curves are there and gradient problem is there. So a lot of investment is needed for developing the line.
बजट में कुछ है ही नहीं। रात में जैसे सोते हैं, सपना देखते हैं और सुबह।
Trending burning question presented by Samsonite, powered by XUV400.
Hello and welcome. You're watching yet another edition of the Trending Burning Question with me, Shavan Sen. Tonight, we focus on what's the current situation in Pakistan. The IMF has rejected Pakistan's entire debt plan, and that is the reason why a lot of questions now essentially being raised. What exactly happens to the future of Pakistan? Take a look at what's really happening on the ground. There are protests that are taking place in Islamabad, and you won't believe this time the protests are being done by none other than the Islamabad police. They're raising this question that the Pakistani government should act on the terrorists who are operating freely inside Pakistan. Protests are also taking place in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where you have several activists coming together and saying, open up the roads. We no longer want to be with you. That's the current situation in Pakistan. Take a look at this report and then we debate.
From protests in Gilgit-Baltistan to calls for unification with India, to a showdown over wheat in Waziristan, the nationwide power outage combined with a completely cash-strapped economy has citizens at each other's throats, literally. There's no doubt Pakistan is in shambles. In a last-ditch effort, Pakistan is leaving it all to God.
पाकिस्तान दुनिया में रहने के लिए अल्लाह ताला ने कायम किया है। ये एक वाहिद मुल्क है जो कलमा शरीफ के नाम पे बना था। इवन सऊदी अरेबिया कलमा शरीफ के नाम पे नहीं बना। तो अगर अल्लाह ताला ने इसको क्रिएट किया तो इसकी हिफाजत, इसकी तरक्की, इसकी खुशहाली भी अल्लाह ताला की जिम्मे।
The terror infrastructure that Pakistan harbored has now come to bite it back. The government is repenting, but it is too late. Too late.
जो कल जो है पेशावर में भाया गया, कौन उन सिपाहियों के लवाकीन को बताएगा कि उनके प्यारे जो है किस तरह शहीद हुए, या कौन आके उनको जो है उनकी जान ले गया। ये मरहला एक ऐसा मरहला है कि यहाँ पे इंट्रोस्पेक्शन की जरूरत है। हमें अपने गिरेबान में झांकना पड़ेगा कि हम कहाँ।
There's a rebellion within the Pakistan establishment. Pakistan may be sounding an SOS to the international community, but even the International Monetary Fund has rejected Pakistan's debt plan. Nothing can save the sinking ship now. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Joining us on the Trending Burning Question tonight is Sardar R.P. Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, General Dhruv Katoch, Barrister Humayun Chatta. Barrister Humayun, I want to first start with some statistics that you need to take a look at, and this is embarrassing to say the least. Now this, I'm quoting what the Asian Development Bank says, 723 public sector loans, grants, technical assistance totaling to about $37 billion to Pakistan. And more importantly, now you've gone to Russia saying that we do not have enough wheat. give us more wheat. In fact, Russia now says that by end of March, you're going to get some wheat assistance. There are riots that are taking place inside your country. And not to forget, we'll play out those visuals in a short while from now. The biggest embarrassment now comes in from your police. They are protesting. They are now saying that act on terrorists. Finally, it's your police telling your government that you need to act. Barrister Humayun, that question was for you.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't listen to your question.
Barrister Humayun, I have something very interesting for you tonight. I'll ask our producers also to put that out. Images of your police protesting on the streets of Islamabad. And they say that they know who are the terrorists behind the attack that took place at a police station. And they want your government to act. Imagine such is the situation, Barrister Humayun, that your own police, take a look at it, Barrister Humayun, if you have access to the television. I'm putting this out because before you say that this is yet another propaganda, it's your people, it's your police now asking the government to act.
Well, I think this is a sheer
Barrister
propaganda
Humayun.
against Pakistan. Well,
So you
I
mean to say
think
that
this is
these
a
are not your
propaganda.
people? Barrister
Can you listen
Humayun,
me?
you mean to say these are not your people?
Can you
You
listen
say
me?
propaganda even before anything else. Your only single point answer for every question is this. This is propaganda.
Let me explain
Aren't these
you.
your own people?
Let me explain you. Let me explain you. This is not the reality what you are saying. The police hasn't said anything like that.
What is not a reality?
Their only concern is that they need
Last
better
time
protection.
I read it out for
against,
you, Barrister Humayun. Your own newspapers, your own publications have given out a full list of the amount, what the current food crisis that you're staring at. You want me to put that out for you? I'll do that. But first, give me a response. Your own police is now telling your government that we know who are the terrorists who are attacking your own country, and your government does not want to act.
That is not that. No, you are putting it wrongly. We all know who the terrorists are. We know TTP has claimed the responsibility. We all know that, and we also know that who is supporting them, who is financing them. So I think to better put it,
who has groomed the
police
TTP?
has asked for
Barrister
better
Humayun,
protection. for the
Sardar
better
RP Singh
means,
wants to.
for the better
Sardar
training
RP Singh wants to come in.
combat,
Sardar
against
RP
these
Singh.
terrorists.
Now I know as a country, Barrister Humayun, trust me, as a country, our national security policy is very clear. Our national security policy is very clear. So before you go on with your rhetoric of blaming India time and again, Sardar RP saying, we want that this country, which is almost breaking up, it does not happen because it's not good for the entire subcontinent. But Barrister Humayun, it's inevitable. It's inevitable if you do not acknowledge the reality. Sardar RP Singh.
Sorry.
Can I make a point? Yeah, sir, hear me out now.
Sardar RP Singh wants to come.
I remember Hillary Clinton's. I remember what Hillary Clinton said. If you keep snakes in your backyard, sometime they'll come and bite you. It's happening now. I remember Imran Khan, who on record has said they have 30,000 militants with them. What to do of them? And he referred to that there are no other options than using them at the Indian borders. So this is the statement of the people who have been relevant to the world politics and world terrorism subject and as a subject, and also Imran Khan himself. But that point aside, they can stay in denial mode. Our concern is that if there is instability in Pakistan, Pakistan can be a trouble for all the neighborhoods. It's not only India, it can be as big as trouble as for China, and it's already the issue with Afghanistan. Although they keep sending their terrorists to our country, they keep sponsoring terrorism, they keep funding terrorism. My urge is, instead of doing all that, instead of spending your taxpayers' money, whatever is left with you, on terrorism or sponsoring terrorism across the border, use that for the welfare of your people first. And then you can think of doing whatever you want to do. Today, your condition is such that even the IMF has refused to give you loan. And even IMF put conditions where you won't be able to get loan from IMF also. And
Sardar RP Singh. Now, what is happening is, Hira Chaudhary, if your government, your ISI is actually busy, Sardar RP Singh, you can't blame Pakistan. What is actually happening is that the focus is this. They are now building balloons. Sardar RP Singh, I don't know whether you've seen this or not. It's a lovely image. And Pakistan should be given the credit. They're making these balloons of I love Pakistan and sending it across to the Indian border. They're busy doing that. Let me also tell you, such is the situation that they have to now auction their own embassy in the United States. Hira Chaudhary, is that a reality or not?
They have done it.
Okay, can I ask you your exact question?
They have already started selling their assets abroad.
Hira Chaudhary, tell me, when will the Pakistani government finally realize that why waste time giving space to Lashkar-e-Toiba, Jaish-e-Mohammed? Because if you continue doing that, such will be a situation that you'll have to start selling off your own state properties. You've already done that in the United States. Your own embassy has finally been auctioned. So what more?
Okay, listen, Pakistan is passing through a bad phase economically and politically. And because of this political destabilization, a third party have always taken an advantage of that.
Who's responsible for it, Hina Chaudhary?
We faced in
but who's responsible for it?
Terrorist attack, recent attack in Peshawar. Okay. And when you talk about
Hina Chaudhary, I understand, but who's responsible for it? Did you not know that you were staring at this? You were staring at this, Hina Chaudhary. For the longest time, you did not want to accept it because your focus was essentially on whining and dining with Hafiz Saeed. The problem, I'll tell you, is that if you spend so much of time and energy in Clifton to ensure that Dawood Ibrahim gets a safe location, you are basically spending state resources. You are spending state resources for protecting terrorists. That is the reason why today you have such kind of inflation staring at your face. So much so, imagine which other country has to auction their own embassy.
Okay, I am coming to this point. How Pakistan as a nation could defend that terrorist attack. Pakistan was not involved in that terrorist attack, and who will spoil? Like Pakistan is that much confused, or Pakistan is like a joke, making a joke out of international political world. How we can do it? We are not supporting them. We don't support any terrorist organization. We don't support any terror attack in Pakistan. And it happened only because of political destabilization in Pakistan, taking an advantage of that. External parties, external powers are taking advantage of Pakistan's situation. Taking advantage of Pakistan's situation. And these terror attacks have been happened frequently in Pakistan, just to take advantage of that political destabilization. Third party and third power is just taking advantage in the form of revenge. And okay, if you talk about different terror attacks,
what revenge are you
talking about? Chinese delegation in Dasu Dam. Who was involved in Dasu attack of Chinese delegation? Is Pakistan was involved? No, Pakistan was not involved. And who was having a problem with Chinese delegation in Pakistan about CPAC? Only India and America. It means India is backing that terror organization in Pakistan. India has been involved. It means India has been involved in different terror attacks in Pakistan. Are you okay to accept it? Because Pakistan is not okay with any terror organization, as your RSS, Rashtriya Swayamsevak Singh, is the biggest terrorist organization in the world. This has not been quoted by me, but different.
General Dhruv, no, one second, hold on. Before you continue, one minute, General Dhruv Katoch, I want to just bring you in right now. Imagine a situation, Hina and Barrister Humayun, imagine a situation when your country faces the highest ever inflation. In December, it was almost touching 24%. You are more interested in what's happening in the subcontinent, and the result of which is this. that even today, Taliban in Afghanistan is saying that you are responsible for the current situation in your own country. The Taliban has now shown you the mirror. Imagine a situation like this. And Hira Chaudhary, please talk about facts. General Dhruv Katoj, I just want to show you General Dhruv Katoj, Sardar RP Singh and all of the other guests. We'll put out that picture. There is a twin IED, a picture of which has been accessed by Republic TV earlier in the day. We'll put that out for our viewers also. Now, ladies and gentlemen, imagine a situation where the country is going through this and they're asking shopping malls to even shut down earlier so that Pakistani money can be saved. Now they're asking that because they cannot run the shopping malls also. General Dhruv Katoj, we'll show you some of the pictures. Take a look at it. And Hira Chaudhary and Barrister Humayun, take a close look at it. If you waste your time making these IEDs and sending it across the border, then there is going to be a problem. And the problem is that even IMF is going to refuse the bailout and then once again go out with begging bowls to other countries. General Dhruv Katoj, this is what still happens. Despite the current situation, Pakistan seems to be still very busy sending out balloons to India with saying, I love Pakistan. And of course, take a look at this picture, the twin IED that they are busy making.
Thank you, Shavan. I was very amused with the comments of both the Hina Chaudhary and the Barrister Humayun. You see, they're trying to put the blame of what is happening in Pakistan on India. For a very long time, India has forgotten about Pakistan. It doesn't really matter to us what happens in your country. Please stay there and live properly. We've got nothing to do with you. But coming back to a very substantive point, the Afghan Taliban is hand in glove, is very closely coordinating their activities with the Pakistan government and the Pakistan military and the ISI. They are sheltering the TTP, which is fighting against you. How does India come into this? You see, it is the TTP which is fighting you. They are being sheltered by the Afghan Taliban, and the Afghan Taliban is in very close coordination with the Pakistan government. So don't put India into anything which is happening. It is your problem. Your biggest problem today, and I'll be very bold enough to say so, is your political instability. Because of political instability, you cannot handle your economic problems. Now, please don't go and tell me that India has created that political instability. We've got nothing to do with it. You've got your three political parties. They're fighting amongst themselves. What has India got to do with it? So it is your problem. Please handle it. For India, I'm going to give a caution. Shavan, my very real caution. The way Pakistan is going, millions of refugees are going to try to cross over into India. Our BSF, especially because the BJP spokesperson is here, we need to sensitize the BSF to ensure not a single person gets through. They have created their problems. They must deal with it, because that is going to be something which we will find very difficult to handle. We don't want your refugees. You handle your problems, stay on your side. We don't want to have anything to do with the Pakistani people or the Pakistani government. And I hope for both Hina and Humayun, that aspect is very clear. These are your problems. Please handle them. And don't send any of those refugees towards our side. We are going to send them right back to you. If you want us to feed them, then say so. We will make separate arrangements. But otherwise, it is your problem. Shavan.
Barrister Humayun, you know, I asked you this question at the beginning of the debate. I'm asking you this question once again. You were hoping that the IMF carries on with its concessions, the extended fund facility that you were hoping that they will come up with. But your proposed debt structure has been completely demolished. And then you had your Prime Minister going to Geneva and asking the IMF to help you out. That is also not working out. So you are basically staring at a clear economic collapse, which is actually, to be fair to you, it's not really good for the entire subcontinent. But why is it so very difficult for you to accept that this is your making?
General Saab, or I'm sorry, I don't know his name. I think they have mixed many things. Political instability is another thing, and it needs different cures. As far as terrorism is concerned, it is not of, I would say, it is a very not huge problem from Pakistan. I think Pakistan military has all the capabilities to handle these criminals, and soon you will find them in hell. Mark my words, I'm telling you. And as far as economic crises are concerned, I think it will take Pakistan another 5 to 6 years to get on the roadmap of prosperity. And this is not the situation is not as grave as you people are putting
Which
it.
prosperity are you talking about?
Pakistan faced terrorism for more than 2 decades, and now I think Pakistan had saved the world from this menace, and Pakistan deserves appreciation from the world. And India is trying to
Barrister
destabilize
Humayun,
Pakistan.
I think
and
you're
you
making
need
a
to admit
mistake.
that. Why you people are saying you people are not financing TTP? You people have Pakistan has
the prosperity that you're talking about, the prosperity is essentially enjoyed by only a few. That is Syed Salahuddin. Sardar RP Singh wants to come in. Sardar RP Singh wants to come in, but Sardar RP Singh, before I bring you in, Barrister Humayun, you said it will take few years for our Pakistan to become prosperous, but the reality is it's only the terrorists who are becoming prosperous in your country. It's only a Hafiz Saeed who's getting prosperous in your country. It's only a Dawood Ibrahim who's getting prosperous in your country. It's only a Chota Shakil who's getting prosperous in your country. And trust me, it's shameful when your own people, your own citizens, they have to fight for a bag of wheat. Then that's shameful for you. Sardar RP Singh, I want you to come in right now.
You people are subverting and crushing your minorities.
See, the problem with them is that they don't want to see the reality. I mean, they still want to mislead their people, mislead their public with all these sort of absurdities. I mean, when he talks about Modi ji, when he talks about RSS, I mean, you should be concerned about your country, sir. Save your country first. Our concern is that Pakistan should stay safe. If Pakistan is not safe, it will create more problem for us. As General Sahab was saying that by another, probably you're talking 5, 6 years, probably another 6 months, there'll be a horde of refugees standing at the Indian border who want to come to India. I mean, that's the genuine concern of General Sahab. So instead of raising questions on others or raising fingers on others or just coming and babbling out on some subject, man, first look inside. Try to rectify your own issues. I mean, try to curb your own terrorism. Because all those terrorists, 30,000 whom you have harbored, now are hurting you. So better is control them. And then when you say Pakistan army is good enough to control it, we have seen what happened at the Afghanistan border recently. What sort of red face Pakistan is to face, and what sort of blow Pakistan is to face, the Pakistan army has to face with us the terrorism. So don't give us all that. We'll appreciate that. We don't want to interfere in your matters. Manage your matters yourself. And you're talking about prosperity after 5, 6 years. When Pakistan stays Pakistan after 5, 6 years, that's the bigger concern.
Shavan, may I just make one statement?
Well, I doubt Sardar RP Singh, the prosperity that Barrister Humayun was essentially talking about, whether at all it's possible, because the focus still, let's not forget, the focus still is on that K card that they like to play again and again and again. But just a gentle reminder to our friends from Pakistan, Hina Chaudhary as well as Barrister Humayun, the sooner you realize that you are losing the plot, the better it is, because that's the time when you will finally wake up and smell the coffee. Thank you very much, Sardar RP Singh, General Dhruv Katoch, Hina Chaudhary and Barrister Humayun for joining us on the trending burning question.
QS and THE, the world's foremost university rankings organizations, have ranked Amity amongst the top 3% universities globally, making it among the very few Indian universities to be included in both rankings. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.